back that off somewhat. Nice. Just a sec. A white piece of paper. Please. And thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Nice work, Ted. You've done this a time or two.
He has. Media dark.
Yeah. My favorite is the sound check.
Oh, we don't need that now. So, alright, that should work. Okay, obviously, Ted, I can't imagine anybody that doesn't know who you are, but you know, name, full spelling, and how we should identify you, please.
Ted Smith, T-E-D, S-M-I-T-H, and President of the International Hempology 101 Society.
You had two fairly significant announcements to make today. One was good news, one not so good. Let's talk about the good news first.
Well, the good news is that we have published a newspaper, the Cannabis Digest, that is now Western Canada's largest publication on cannabis and prohibition. And so we're really looking forward to having a means to inform the public about federal legislation, raids on clubs, activists, and other matters concerning cannabis and prohibition. It's not a regular pot rag. We're not covering, you know, people growing pot or the, you know, kind of pop culture as much as the political, social, economic, and medical aspects.
Why has a publication like the Cannabis Digest become necessary? I mean, it's 2010.
Well, the cannabis industry is huge right now, larger than it ever has been in Canada, and we're really on the cusp of something that is unprecedented. In California, in November, they could be legalizing cannabis. There are hundreds and hundreds of clubs just like ours here already. Hundreds of thousands of people signed up for medical programs. In Denver, there's more medical clubs than there are Starbucks.
Yes!
The need for current, accurate information on the legal, scientific, you know, and political decisions happening with this plant, you know, couldn't be greater than it is right now. And at the same time, the need for advertising the stores and products and services available to people working in this industry hasn't been greater either. Unfortunately, Cannabis Culture magazine stopped publishing last year. So we're stepping into a void that's been created in part by their demise, but the fact that there is this opportunity for us to network with all these stores in Vancouver and up and down Vancouver Island, to say all the way to Calgary, is really an opportunity that if we don't take, someone else will. Having free news media, you know, working online as well is, I think, the future for print. You know, newspapers like the Times Columnist are struggling, and I don't think we will. I think we're going to grow.
So, you launch this tomorrow. When an interested party reads it, what do you hope they take away from it?
That there's a lot more to the cannabis community than kids going and smoking pot in parks. That it's a lot more serious than that, and very much more involved than people might think as well.
Within the pages of the digest, though, is a little bit about the second part of your announcement today, and that's the not so good news. Tell me about that.
Well, the not so good news is that our club, the Cannabis Buyers Club of Canada, that provides medical marijuana, has to go to court to defend making cookies and massage oils. We had thought the Crown was going to drop the charges that were laid in December, but months after the event, charges appeared in the mail. And so it appears as though we have a rather significant trial to face with some rather unique constitutional arguments that haven't been presented. And so we have to organize expert witnesses and members of the club and rally the troops, in essence, behind us. So,
in a manner of speaking, though, isn't the process as horrific as it may be, and obviously it's impacted production of the products that you're speaking of, But because of the potential constitutional challenge, because it now opens arguments that you've been making for some time to some sort of public and, more importantly, legal scrutiny, isn't it potentially a good thing?
This could work out not just in our favor, but we could change, and will likely change, Canadian case law.
Yeah!
We have already set some precedent with the earlier trials of the club, although it didn't get to the higher levels of court that really matter when you're trying to set precedent. But it's quite likely that this trial will go to at least the Court of Appeal, if not the Supreme Court of Canada. And if we are successful, and I'm very confident that we will be, we could be striking down sections of the regulations that would allow people to make their own food and skin products out of this herb, and hopefully go farther and force the government to regulate clubs like ours to allow professionals to provide this medicine, which the regulations currently don't allow for.
But when you speak at the Supreme Court of Canada, the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, you're talking about in terms of the constitutional challenge, not the charges that are facing your, I mean, it's as a result of the charges facing your baker that you're now looking at constitutional charges. I just want to clarify that. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah, that they're giving us an opportunity to argue that otherwise we wouldn't have. If they would have dropped these charges, we would have been operating as normal, but still vulnerable to prosecution. And so this will settle the matter one way or another. Either these cookies are illegal and a drug that is outside of the regulations, or these cookies, as we believe, are medicine and should be included in the regulations.
Yeah.
For sure.
And how would you like to summarize all this, Ted?
Well, we'll just have to see how the cookie crumbles.
Now I need to get shots of the cookies. That might be sending the wrong message.
Do a Joycean wander through the town.
It'll be my first celebration.
Good for you, Bill.
Well, yeah, be prepared to be like 300 to 500 people. But that's more.
How does the cookie help you, Bill?
Well, I find it for myself. I have chronic pain issues, but I also tend towards manic behavior, and it helps twofold. In that it helps the pain be more, definitely helps me manage the pain, but it also slows down I believe what it is it slows down, it's presynaptic, and it slows down the release of the neurotransmitters, and so it slows down the mental behavior by slowing down the firing of the neurons. That's I couldn't say exactly how it affects with the pain. I would imagine the same with some of the principle.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.